You know, some people enjoy composing their own music, chord by chord, and others are happiest when they come across that one perfect song. Work is not a lot different than that. Whether you prefer building your own workflow or using a pre-made template, with Monday.com, you and the team can work in a way that's comfortable for everyone. Tap the banner to go to Monday.com and build your own amazing workflow, or find an awesome template. No judgment.
Welcome to the RuPaul's Drag Race recap show for All-Stars Season 6, Episode 1, titled Variety Show Extravaganza. My name's Joe Betance, and I am joined, as always, by two sickening co-hosts. First, from Bloody Plodcast. Well, yeah. Please say hello to the goddess of glitz, glamour, goth, gossip, and gore herself, Miss Lauri Roggenkamp. Hello, Lauri.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing very well. You know, we don't usually do, for All-Star 6, we don't do Just Between Us Girls. But it turned into a Just Between Us Girls because you are wired today. What is up?
I had so I had to wake up early because my cleaning lady came today. And she came like an hour early. So we woke up with like a start. I mean, I just had to race around and get ready and leave the house.
Yeah.
So ever since then, I've just been downing so much caffeine because I've just been feeling so out of it today. So I would say 5 minutes before I sat down, all the caffeine hit me at once. So
I have something to talk about.
It's going to be a fun episode.
Before I do, I want to bring in our co-host for this season. Well, for most of the season until he gets married and runs away.
Oh my God.
This was a conversation somewhere about how Salandra's the one that thinks he's only gone for a week. We all been done knew that you are not coming back after 1 week.
Who said that? Oh, everyone thinks that.
Yeah.
Well, this is technically week 2, and I'm starting to feel like I'm not going to come back. Just kidding.
Please don't leave me.
And from show business, please say hello to Adam Salandra. Hello, Adam Salandra from show business.
Hi, everybody. I just waved to the crowd and remembered indeed we're not being filmed.
Well, it's funny that you say that. I was actually, we used to use a service called Crowdcast that was really good, but also very expensive. Okay. But I was toying with the idea, should we go back on Crowdcast? What do you guys think?
Don't be cutting into my pay with expensive tools.
Yeah, I know.
Honestly, I miss Crowdcasts in certain aspects, but it is so expensive that that's really up to you if you're willing to do that.
It was really expensive, and also remember, then people stopped showing up, and it was that was why I stopped doing it. Was I was paying all this money, and then it was just I can't say.
What is it?
It's just like a streaming, like a way to stream.
Oh, so it's just visual as well.
It's visual. Okay, but it's really, I will say it's really well done, but you have to pay for it.
So gotta be good enough.
Yeah.
Well, I will, if you decide to go back, do hair and makeup. It's not a big deal. Just let me know.
All right. The other thing too is, by the way, we are in there's been all this drama about it today, but I promised it and it's coming. Afterthought Media Premium, where you can pay $5 a month either on Spotify or on Apple Podcasts, and you can get all the bonus content that we do on Patreon, but you don't have to sign up for Patreon. And that's coming very, very soon. It's been dealing with it all day today. And so we'll get more details of that as it comes.
Have you ever thought about doing Twitch, Joe?
Yeah, I'll be doing gaming. I already have my whole Twitch set up with the gaming and everything like that. I'm basically becoming PewDiePie.
I know that yeah. Well, you have a racist past, just like PewDiePie.
Yeah.
So,
flipping the tables.
Yeah. But she's right. I actually do. I own it. Yeah. I was so against Mexicans, which was funny because I am Mexican. I'd be like, beaners, go home.
A little different.
Yeah. I was like, come on.
You were on Dr. Phil.
I had my entire family deported. By the way, they were all born here.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that probably was a lot of work, and I appreciate someone who works hard.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah. It was really, really hard work. In fact, you know what? I keep my nieces in cages, and they're 100% American citizens. They're half white.
Yeah, I was going to say, this doesn't sound like racism. It sounds like just probably some mental issues that you're working
Yeah,
with.
yeah.
To
But
be
I own
fair,
it.
though, they're older. They're like in their 20s, and that's their kink, is to be kept in cages.
Yeah, from their uncle.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was going to say,
From their
nobody
uncle.
likes celebrating their kinks. Like,
It's a
when you
weird
can do it with an
kink,
uncle.
but
speaking of videos on Twitch, speaking of Crowdcast, I came up with a way that I know we're going to get everybody to sign up. So today I was on my social media, all right? Mm-hmm. And this Lauri Roggenkamp over at Lauri You Liar, right? On Instagram.
Huh?
She puts
Is
this.
it?
Yeah, it is. Lauri, Lauriu, the letter U, Liar. Okay.
Oh, I mean, I follow her. I just didn't. I think I read it as Lauri. Wait, is it? Do you pronounce it Lauri or Lauri?
Lauri.
Yeah, most people do. But my sister's Lauren, and it's Lauren, so it fucks me up.
No, it's
Oh, really?
Lauren. It's no one says Lauren.
Well, my full name is Laurian, and I don't like you saying it, mainly because A, when you say it fully, it sounds like I'm in trouble, and B, nobody in my family knows how to pronounce it. So my mom thinks it's Lorian, my dad thinks it's Lurian, my aunt thinks it's Lorraine, and I'm just
Okay,
like,
but didn't
I'll
at
go
least
by
two of
Lauri.
those people actually give you the name?
well, so the drama came from the fact that I was named after my mom's best friend, who
John DeLorean.
yeah, who they called Lauri, but then they found out that her full name was what I say Lorian, and so they found it was an Laurian. So they just added that on there,
I feel like life really is just so complicated sometimes.
but they never asked her how to pronounce it. So
Well, seemingly they could just ask her, right?
well,
Is
she's
she no
dead
longer
now.
with us? Yeah.
She's dead now. So
How old
that
was she
kind
when
of
she
important.
died?
she died pretty young. She was, I think she was in her 40s.
Well, you might beat her to the punch. So anyway, Salandra's had a reaction to that.
I was semi-wishing death on her, but it's fine.
No, I don't want to. No, what will I do for shows?
Yeah, you're right. No, wishing, just assuming.
No
Just
one will
assuming.
be doing CPR on Lauri more than me. I'm like, God damn it, bitch! You got to wake up so you can do these shows with me.
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to think her aunt would come in and at least try and pick her up. Just
No.
She'd be pantsless. I don't know that.
she'd be
Oh,
That's how she
on
would.
your way,
That's how
following the
she'd
light.
wake Lori up. Is she'd sit pantsless on Lori's face.
Whatever
Oh,
works.
God damn.
And
No,
Lori would be
stop
like,
it.
It'd be like, is it Saturday already? Anyway, so
Jesus Christ. You know what? Can we bring back the stuff about me having a racist past? I think I like that more than
Better than the
me and my-
incestual.
Yeah, me and my aunt are lesbians
yeah.
together.
Well, they don't know how to pronounce. They had a friend named Lesbian. They don't know if it was lesbian. So anyway,
One person said Lorraine.
yeah. So anyway, the reason I bring this up is this Lauri on social media is talking about how her girlfriend threatened to break up with her if she bought, and I was like, what the fuck world is this? If she bought an ear, like thing to clean out your ears, but it has a camera attached to it, so you
Yeah.
can see the thing scraping out the gunk out of your ears, and that star, her girlfriend, threatened to break up with her if she bought it. So I bought it for Lauri for her birthday.
Okay, well, did you see the comments? Because I actually commented on that post.
Oh, you did?
saying
No.
that I really wanted that, and that was
Did
true.
you see?
And my
Did you
birthday
see
is
what
coming up.
I told you. I told you what it is. I don't know. I can send you now that I have your phone number. I'll be
Moth to the
stalking
flame.
you.
Oh,
Yeah.
you told me what the Oh, I saw, and is it too late? Did I miss it? Prime
No,
Day?
I think it's still. I think the discount's still going on. Yeah, and also I didn't even think about that loophole. It's a loop because I didn't buy it. I got it for me,
That's
so
right.
she can't
in
get mad at
trouble.
me. Yeah, but she's just worried because I've bruised my eardrums so many times cleaning out my ears because I really honestly have this compulsion to make sure there's nothing in my ears.
Oh, I can guarantee you there's definitely nothing in between them. But let me tell you guys this is Roggenkamp, Salandra, I will buy
And
you.
Betance.
No. I will buy you guys the ear cleaning camera with the proviso, because Lauri gets hers tomorrow, that you go on either Twitch or Crowdcast and stream your ear being cleaned out by this thing.
I gotta be honest. I will do it. I just don't think that there will be as much of an audience as you think there will be.
I think you're wrong.
It's going to be disgusting.
I think you're wrong.
I mean,
I've seen the ads.
We thought that there were going to be more people who would want to see us do a mukbang, and there turned out to be a lot less people than we originally thought wanted to see us watch us eat a large amount of food. So,
wait, people didn't show up for a mukbang?
No, a lot of people were like, "No, thank you."
Now, what's a mukbang? I knew it in my life.
It's just where you eat a large quantity of food. It's essentially like an ASMR because it's just hearing people chew.
Well, no.
So some people find it.
Don't you think we should stream the bachelor party though?
Yes,
we should.
Now listen, I really want that to happen because I've been thinking about this.
it's gonna happen. This is
okay. Good.
Off the air, we'll set a date, and the bachelor party will happen. It's just sad that a lot of buffets are gone now.
It is sad, but we'll go deep. We'll go to where it's very. Listen, if you have a buffet right now, it's already questionable, and so I feel like that is perfect for this situation.
Yeah, I think I agree. All right, this week, 13 new girls walk into the workroom for another chance at winning a crown. After some kisses and hugs, the girls get right to it and read each other for filth. Next, they all perform in the traditional variety show Maxi Challenge. In the end, Jada Sofia made the judges laugh, while Trinity K. Bonet and Serena Chacha land in the bottom two after a lip-sync battle for their legacies. Lip-sync assassin Coco Montrese walks away with the win and the chance to name the contestant's choice to go home. After pulling the lipstick from her bra, Coco Montrese announced that Serena Chacha was the first queen to leave the competition. But wait! Just as she was leaving, RuPaul shocked Serena by telling her the game wasn't over for her yet, Serena. There's still a game within the game. Ladies, name 2 things you liked about the episode and 1 thing you did not. Let's start with the person who works in show business, Mr. Adam Salandra.
I'll go.
Yes. I forgot to do this, so I'm going to do it on the fly, but it's going to be easy to do because I realized, compared to certainly our season 3 recaps, I took so many notes. Mm-hmm. I'm just already very invested.
Yeah.
So I will say, what did I like?
Well, I'm going to give you a second to think about it. I got to tell you something, Lauri. The other day,
I'm sure this is an insult.
I think Lauri was there. You're sure this is an insult? Why are you sure it's an insult?
Because I've known you 6 whole months.
More than 6 months. But anyway,
it's definitely not a compliment.
We know that. No compliments are coming.
This Salandra, last time, remember he was like, guys, I don't want to insult the show. Let's keep it positive. And I was like, okay, so let's hear it. Let's hear it.
That's what you heard. I said I don't like when other podcasts, and I specifically said it was after Buzz, hate the show that they're talking about. You don't hate it. You just like to make fun of it. That's fun and funny. And I wouldn't be doing the show if I thought you hated it. Okay. Don't make me defend these comments you don't even care about.
Yeah. Joe has a conversation with you that is just completely opposite of whatever. I've just learned the conversation that Joe and I have on air is always different than what,
the so-called reality of what's been being told. Okay. So 2 things I liked. One is I just get very excited to start a season, but with queens you already know, even if you don't necessarily love them all. It's just very exciting to see them all walk in. That being said, this isn't necessarily my dislike, so then I'll have 2, but there's a lot of them. And it's a little hard to have this many queens, even though we know them. So it's not even like a normal season where we have to learn who they are. It was hard to dive into any 1 or 2 things, but I like to see them all. Number 2, I love a reading challenge. I wasn't thrilled with this one, but I'm always happy to see it, so I will say that. One thing I dislike, and this is for the season in general, I am so mad that it's on Paramount Plus at 3 a.m. Is it when it debuts the night before?
No, midnight for us, but yeah.
Yes. Okay. Well, I'm not awake then. Mm-hmm. And then the next day I have work. So it's going to be 24 hours until I get there. And so I'm going to take dodging. I need to go on social media at work so that I don't have to focus on work. And now I can't. And that makes me mad. That said, because of this schedule, I've seen people saying that things aren't even going viral. No one's tweeting about it because no one's watching it as soon as it comes out. So bad move, Paramount.
Yeah. Yeah.
By the way, Lauri,
I wonder if that's really their choice, though.
Before we get to you, I want to say something very clever that Adam does. He should be a politician. Because he's the one that has to everything be positive, but he didn't like anything in this episode. So what he goes is like, first thing I like TV shows. I hate this one, but I love TV. The other thing I like drag queens. Hate RuPaul, but love me a drag queen. So those are the two things I liked. And I'm like, he just said he literally disguised things he didn't like. Like, I love me a reading challenge. Not this one, but love a reading challenge.
Oh, okay. Actually, you are right. I thought you were just going off again, but I have to say you are right about that.
And I love seeing some new queens. Maybe not all these ones.
That's true. That's true. I actually really did do that.
Yeah. She listens.
Sorry. I wasn't prepared for my likes and dislikes.
I don't apologize, but then don't come for me and say that I'm only negative and all I do is say negative things.
Well, again, that never happened. So
that was a negative.
It's really not the issue.
All right, Lauri. Lauri had to remember she's on a podcast.
Yeah, I had to figure out where I was for a second. All right, I'm in a room talking to a microphone. Okay, podcast. Good. Go. All right. So New South Wales is located in.
Oh no, we're not doing this. We're not doing this. No one knows what you're talking about. Guys, I had a conversation with Lauri off the air in front of an audience that please don't make inside jokes on this show. Don't talk to the chat. The first words out of her mouth were inside jokes.
You didn't say don't make inside jokes. You said don't talk to the chat room, which I have not done. All right. So I'm just saying.
Right, Luke?
I will add don't make inside jokes to the list.
All right. Okay. Thank you. All right.
So the two things I liked about the show were two words.
Sure.
Yara fucking Sophia. Those are the two things I liked about the episode. Okay. She was fucking amazing from the moment she entered the workroom.
Sure.
Okay, I have a question. Has anybody, except for, I know people have done big boobs, like Ginger Minge does big boobs. I know other people have done big boobs. Mm-hmm. And has anybody done like sloppy tits? Like what you
I've never seen it like that.
Because that was fucking brilliant. I was like, I'd be happy if she did that every episode.
Well,
I love that. Yeah, so far but I loved it. I thought she did a great job. The one thing I didn't like was the just monotony of most of the talent. I felt like most of the talent show was just, here's a song I made about how we're all unique and we all should be really respectful of each other. Oh, great. Here's a song I made about how I'm number one and I really am feeling my oats. And we should all be respectful of each other. Oh, that's awesome. Here's the song I made about, it's just like, okay, great. Awesome.
Not to say another negative thing and get called out, but I did write that I'm begging them to get rights to other songs for these girls for All Stars because they were all doing the same act essentially.
Yeah.
And so it got old.
Yes. So that's the one thing I didn't like, but everything I actually really enjoyed this episode for the most part, mainly because Yara Sofia was phenomenal. Mm-hmm. I loved her. So yeah, that's it.
Oh, that's everything you got. I really can only think of one thing I liked about. I didn't hate the episode. Okay, calm down, Salandra.
You calm down.
Yeah, Salandra, World of Wonder. Adam, World of Wonder, Salandra. But the one thing, the standout was Coco Montrese is such a good lip syncer. She is so good, and I actually it really highlighted how good she was when she was singing against. Lip syncing against Yara. The thing I did not like, let's just bring this up now.
Okay.
HD television is not the friend of a lot of these girls and their plastic surgeon. Like,
who you want to call out? Say a name.
Yara Sofia.
Oh, really? I love Yara Sofia. I gotta be honest with you though. Sonique was fucking hot. Like, I was like, she's she can get it. She's.
Oh, so you would hook up with Sonique?
Oh, and like, I mean, honestly, I don't think she would ever go for like a fat slob like me, but she's like Charlize level.
Hold on for a second.
Like when she was dancing, I was like, fuck, she's beautiful. Mm-hmm. I mean, I was so blown away by her.
But Lauri, look, usually I used to be just like you, but I can't believe someone as cute as Aiden. Like, I really do not understand what Aiden sees in me. And I don't know if you feel that way about Star, but like, why would you say that? Maybe you should make a move for Sonique.
I mean, honestly, like, so if anybody's listening to this, if anyone could give Sonique my number, I would love to just go out for lunch and just, feel things out. My girlfriend would be totally fine with it if we don't tell her.
Well, I want to do the same thing too, by the way. Even though I'm in a committed relationship, if anybody knows David Archuleta, can you pass?
Oh my God, he would be your man of choice.
Oh my God, David Archuleta is so.
His penis was trying to tap the microphone when we found out the day we found out that David Archuleta was gay.
Whatever he is.
He doesn't know what he is. Maybe he's gay, maybe he's bisexual. But I love that he's saving himself for marriage.
He's like, no matter what I am, I still love God, and so.
I'm interested to see that a lot more with the gay community. I would love to see just two horned up dudes just being like, we're saving ourselves for marriage.
They can't even save themselves for leaving the Abbey.
That's not a lie.
Yeah.
No. Anyway. I mean, I don't know. I think this is like my first All-Stars, and I thought overall, it was good. I did think I was shocked at how much people were so positive about each other. I thought I was expecting a lot more hate. And a lot of people were like, I just love all y'all.
Yeah,
the shade, it'll come eventually, I think, because they vote each other off. But that's why I've been loving these foreign seasons, so to speak, or certainly that was like happening in Down Under, but they're not afraid there to be like a little shadier, which is truly what a drag queen is. Mm-hmm. In America, they just are very aware that they're going to get destroyed on social, which is so annoying. It's like, no, we want you to be shady and forget these stupid children watching.
Yeah. So Salandra and I have been covering season 3, and that's pre them being aware of social media, and they are brutal to each other. They are brutal to each other.
But that reminds me, what you said about Yara Sophia's plastic surgery is that I was like, God, she aged so much. And I was like, well, it was 10 years, but it's not just 8, like we all aged. It's a different face, and it's just not as good, frankly. Sorry.
Well, I know that some of us are friends with Pandora Box, but
she needs some Pandora Botox. When we get to it, we'll get to it. But I have a lot of. I honestly, and I don't mean to shade you, Joe, but I'm going to shade you right now. I did not think you were right. I thought I was like, oh, here's Joe with his weird, conspiracy theories about Drag Race. And then when they got to the judging and everybody said I was like, oh my God, he's so right. WoW is trying to shove Pandora Box down our throats.
Oh, wait.
Is that true that you said that? Because today I saw on Twitter, Pandora, you saw, she was saying, she was pissed at World of Wonder. She was like, wow, thanks World of Wonder, tagging them, that I'm the only person, I was in the top 3, but the only person who had an insult, someone like said an insult edited in when she had her entrance.
Yeah.
And, so she was like bitter that happened. And Mrs. Kasha Davis was below in the comments being like, girl, stop. They love you. They keep putting you on. They keep giving you this opportunity. Just enjoy it. And then she gave a kiss and a butterfly.
That's true.
And it is true.
It is true. And also, Pandora forgets that before Bianca, up to like All Stars 1 season 6, she was like the golden child at World of Wonder. So,
yes. Yeah. So I thought, I was shocked. I in my heart, I can see Pandora maybe being a little bitter, but I was shocked it was directed at them when it's very clear they love her, and they brought her back. Let's face it, a third time. Come on.
Yeah. All right, let's go to these workroom entrances. The first one in the workroom is Akaria C. Davenport. She came in and she said, the one most to meet all the criteria, screw all that, just say, hey, Ms. Akaria. She was made to the final 4 of season 11. Let's start with Lauri Roggenkamp. Did you have any big thoughts on Akaria's entrance?
I thought she looked great. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, I thought, for the first workroom, I thought she did good, and I thought she was great. Yeah.
Adam, what about you?
Same. I couldn't understand her. I was very grateful for the reading you just did because I wasn't sure what she said, but she looked like a lovely golden statue, and props to that, mama.
Well, I have to give credit where credit is due. Producer extraordinaire Luke Stamen, I almost said his married name, Luke Harder. You know, he and Nami got married. I use a married couple as producer. So Nami does Drag Race Down Under.
Oh,
and Luke.
Wait, is that true?
Now that they're married, do they masturbate at the same time?
That's a good question because the Nami's in Australia and Luke is here. So anyway, all right, Jiggly Caliente. She came in and said, "Well, Mother did say, may the best woman win." Well, not anymore. If you heard the theme song, the theme song has been re-recorded.
I have a question about that.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't of course I understand that they did it to be sensitive, but why would you not be able to say woman? Because even if you were, like, say, Gottmik, a trans man,
yes,
you're still dressing up as a woman. I would think woman would be fine.
I agree with you. And also I was thinking then just change the whole theme song because the whole joke of the theme song, I was going to say joke, the punchline is that you're switching may the best man win for the best woman win. So then other than that, then the whole point of the whole gist of the song is gone.
I think what we should all do is it should just be everybody just doing Hands Across America. And
forever.
We're all just looking at each other and smiling, and then it focuses in on a mountain, and then it zooms in again, and it's RuPaul Drag Race, and this is RuPaul's Drag Race, and then one of the mountains explodes, and that's her fracking mountain, and then that's, we include it all in.
Well, what's funny too, I bet you a lot of trans people would love it if RuPaul just had drag kings on, bio queens on. I know that's not name's controversial. I can't think of a better name for it.
I think we're going to get there.
Changing the theme song.
I legit think we're going to get there eventually. I think she's softening for that.
Yeah.
Not to mention the show, they're putting out 7 to 8 seasons a month. So eventually we're going to have to.
My parents are going to be on it soon. All right. Yeah. Well, so Jiggly said, well, Mother did say may the best woman win. She came in 8th place in season 4. Now let's go to Salandra. Salandra, you're a big Jiggly Caliente fan.
I really am.
So what were your thoughts? Seeing her, give us all your thoughts here.
Oh my gosh, I was so happy. The glow-up's amazing. Mm-hmm. I've truly been waiting for this moment just because I found Jiggly to be so funny in season 4. Mm-hmm. And I always go for the comic relief. But when she said later on as people were walking in, I hope I'm the only pretty one. Mm-hmm. At first I thought she was joking, and then I stopped and was like, wait, she is one of the pretty ones. And that honestly blew my mind. Mm-hmm. Jiggly Caliente, baked potato look, famously, season 4 is one of the pretty girls. Amazing. Praise him.
Yeah.
And I don't mean Jiggly, of course I mean God, because I would not say him to Jiggly.
Mm-hmm. Lauri, what were your thoughts on Jiggly Caliente?
I feel bad saying this, but I was kind of bored.
Oh, wow.
I was kind of bored with what
wow.
I liked
you just threw down the gauntlet. Yeah.
I liked her story arc and what she talked about and how she said that she feels like she's finally in her element and stuff. And I was like, that's great. I'm glad to see, but I just didn't see it. I didn't see, she talks about this, she's never felt better more prepared. And it's I don't see it. Yeah, I think I thought she looked very pretty walking in. I thought she looked, and also maybe I feel since, Akira came in and she looked very glamorous. I thought Jiggly I didn't think Jiggly looked as glamorous. And then, I kind of was okay. Look, I'm not saying, who knows? Next episode, she might, pep it up, but this episode, I was very bored.
All right. Very good. Next in the workroom, we have Jan. She came in and said, I'm back again. She also came in 8th place, but on season 12. Let's start with you, Lauri. What were your thoughts of, Jan?
I wanted to say something really terrible, but I'm not going to because
what's been stopping you the whole time?
Okay. I'm just thinking about, That's why I'm frustrated.
I want before we get. By the way, if you have a problem with what Lauri just said, you can write into the official Afterthought email. The best of today, the best of today at gmail.com. Or you can leave a voice. You know what's so funny is that guy that you pissed off in Drag Race Down Under is probably like, okay, now they're in All-Star 6, I can listen again. And now look at where we are.
I meant that to be like a dark comedy, but I will say I think that the reason why you hate the things in other people that you see you hate in yourself. Mm-hmm. And I see her, she's just still trying so hard. She's still trying so desperately to be loved by clearly what seems like a group of people who don't love her.
It is interesting because I thought I liked her, and then I was like, oh, I didn't know if you, especially like this Jan was in my head, but I was like, I'm kind of, as a boy, is annoying. But what I didn't see it, but I saw Jan comment today on Twitter. Also, I was checking all the gals' Twitters. She was like, she actually said, I'm actually asking, there's too much hate coming at me right now, which I thought was interesting because I thought everyone.
Well, now I feel bad for.
No, you didn't say it to her. You said it just to a microphone full of people, but not at her, which I think is fine.
Yeah.
I would never say anything to her because I'd be so afraid that she would say something to me.
So that is funny to me.
Because it would be probably smart in a retort that I couldn't come back at.
Because when she was booted, a lot of the basic white twinks were very, very, very upset. There was a Justice for Jan thing and everything, like Jan for All Stars 5 or whatever. And
so like I said, I didn't see the hate, but I was surprised to hear it was coming just because of that.
Look, I think here's the thing. This is the weird part is it's like she's got all the makeup of a great performer. We know she's a phenomenal singer. Amazing. She's got fashion. She's got the looks, it's just, there's just something missing that it's not connecting. And it's like, she's just trying to shove that piece in there so
Maybe
hard.
That's it. Maybe it's a desperation.
Lauri just got all her steps in walking that back. She's got all her steps in today. All right. Raja O'Hara, she came in. She said, your salty homegirl's back, and she's sweeter than before. She came in 9th place in season 11. By the way, we can just see, they're really digging the bottom of the barrel.
Yes.
They're like 8th place, 9th place, season 11, Raja O'Hara. Your thoughts here. Let's start with you, Adam Salandra.
I was wondering, because, I don't know a ton about looks. Yeah. Was that hair horrible? Because it looked flat and it was like multicolored, but didn't look necessarily intentional. Didn't love it. I do love Raja's personality, though. Mm-hmm. But I'm not sure yet if the looks have improved.
Mm-hmm. Lauri?
You know what? I will agree with Adam. I felt like I think Raj is going to be the interstitial queen. Mm-hmm. She's going to be the one in the interstitials that has the best comments. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I thought her fashion was a little underwhelming. Mm-hmm. So
all right, very good. Ginger Mind was the next one in the room. She came in and she said, "Feeling froggy." She was now look, I'll give her this. She was in the top 3 of season 7 and also in 8th place in All Stars 2. So she's fitting in with all the other girls in 8th place there. Salandra, what were your thoughts on Ginger Minge?
Okay, Ginge could not have looked worse. And she did say it was intentional. She wanted it to be a whole thing where it's like a frog and you think they're ugly and then you look closer, blah, blah, blah. So success there. Mm-hmm. But it was interesting to me, especially, of course, we famously already crowned Ginger the winner of this season. Mm-hmm. But it does make me think maybe she doesn't have it all, which I did think she did. But that look was a choice. Even though it was literally a choice to look ugly.
Going back to my statement that HD was not the friend of these girls, I want the record to show that season 7 was 6 years ago.
Okay? Yes.
And on season 7, she claimed to be 29 years old, which would make her 35. If she's 35, I'm 19 years old. She literally looked pushing 60.
Okay, well, let me pushing 60. Damn. Okay, but I also was always confused because I knew that she was 27. Is that what you said?
29. She said she was 29.
Okay, 29. But she was famously part of the old lady brigade. And it's like, well, no, these women are actually 40.
Yeah, yeah.
So why are you – so either she was lying about age or she just felt like she had to be much older. But imagine being in your 20s and being like, I can only connect with the elders.
Yeah, she didn't have to imagine it because she wasn't. It was like Jasmine Masters was like 42. Mrs. Kasha Davis was like in her mid-late 40s. And yeah, it's because you are their age. That's why you don't have to imagine it. She was there. There was no way she was 29.
All right.
She looked horrible. Laura, any thoughts on Ginger Minj?
I think it's disgusting and reprehensible that you guys would judge somebody simply by their age. I think that is so gross, and you should be ashamed of yourselves.
I get the reference, but we're not judging the age; we're judging the fake age.
Yeah. Look, Lauri, I wasn't judging. I know what you're talking about. You're making a reference to in Drag Race Down Under, there was a pit crew guy who you maligned for his being older. But he didn't go on there and say that he was 25 years old. If he was 25, I'd say the same thing. If he's 25, I'm 14.
His bikini line said he was 25. His face said he was 48.
Yeah.
So there is I'm sorry, I don't know how else to put this. There's this show that I used to like called Ink Master, which is a tattoo competition show. And there was a guy on the show who was slated to win and he got an upset. And then they brought him back several years later and it was like, he's going to win this season. He's going to win. And the first episode he came on till the last, he just had this, like, he just was defeated and he just looked tired. And I just had this sinking feeling that, he's not going to win. And that's what I get with Ginger Minj. Like, we all thought Ginger Minj was going to come in and slay and win this show. And I just have this sinking feeling that she's not going to do very well.
All right. Well.
I just feel like she just looked tired.
I'll be so mad if we have to record another ending to the season. Because Ginger
we did it already.
Yeah.
All right. Next in the workroom, we have Yara Sofia. She howled and said, I hope you like it doggy style. She came in 4th place in season 3. Was also Miss Congeniality in season 3. And, spoiler alert. And she was also in 5th/6th place because they did teams on All Stars 1. So I would consider that 3rd place, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
3rd place on All Stars 1. Let's start with Lauri. Lauri, your thoughts on Yara Sofia when she walked in the workroom?
At no other time.
Are we talking about the end?
We're talking about her titties.
Are we talking about season 3? Nope. We're talking about All Star 6, episode 1, Lauri. When the workroom entrance.
So I at first was afraid because, I have this fear about animal heads on human bodies. I hate it. I don't like it.
Wait, I don't know. Famously, who knew this?
I talk about it all the time when it comes up.
Yeah.
I do not like animal heads on, I do not like animals giving head, and I don't like animal heads on human bodies. It is creepy and weird. So when she, even like a mask or anything, it creeps me out. So when she came in, I was like, oh God, is this going to be an ongoing thing?
Yeah.
So, she looked great. I thought she looked great. I don't know what you guys are talking about as far as like it not HD not looking good for her. I thought she looked great. So.
Oh, no. No. In drag, impeccable. Please don't get me wrong. It's her boy face, which also, it doesn't look bad. It's just, it's very simply, I was attracted to him as a boy before, and now I'm not. That's all.
Yeah. You know what a lot of them do? Not even necessarily that need plastic surgery. A good example is Blair St. Clair has had a ton of work done. She's like 20-0, but they get work done to make them appear more feminine, to ease the female illusion.
Sure.
So I don't know what it is. All right. We're going to be around here for a while. Next one is Silky Nutmeg Ganache. She said, season 11, I came for the lunch. All-Star 6, I'm coming for the dinner. Look out, bitch. I am your winner. She was in, she went to the final 4 of season 11. Adam Salandra, start with you. Silky Nutmeg Ganache.
Yeah, of course we know Silky is very polarizing, but mostly hated. And I just have to say that this entrance was it. It's undeniable. The look was great. She pulled a glass of milk from her titties.
Mm-hmm.
I am impressed. I mean, I've already seen the clip, and I'm still impressed seeing it again.
Okay.
And I have a feeling that we're going to like her more this time around than the original.
Okay.
I think she learned some lessons about herself.
Lauri, have you and I had any kind of conversation before this show, this episode, at all about anything we're going to do today?
No.
Can you right now, for Salandra, pull out what you can from your titties? This is not a joke. I'm telling you right now. All right. Can you?
I mean, it's not as much as it usually is. So I'm just going to say.
All right.
So I have this.
I'm so excited.
Vaseline. These eye drops. That's it.
Okay, now listen. I have a friend who for years
This
used
water
her
bottle.
under tit as a purse.
Yeah.
I'm talking a glass of milk with no lid that just came out, no spill. That's cool.
I legit, before we started the show, took out my
Your 2 Diet Cokes.
my 2 Diet Cokes, my Apple AirPods, and my wallet, and my Switch Army knife thing that I had.
You ever lose things in there? Because it sounds like you might.
I've cut myself and I've lost a lot. Things just fall out sometimes. I'll be walking down the street and somebody will be like, "Ma'am,
ma'am, you dropped a Christmas ham on the sidewalk."
I used to not have a wallet. I used to just literally carry money in my bra. So people would be like, "Ma'am, you dropped this $20." And then they wouldn't want to pick it up because, it would be wet. And they'd be like, "No, I don't want to touch your wet $20. Thank you, though."
All right. Well, I, Lauri, do you have anything to say about Silky Nutmeg Ganache?
I got to be honest. I think that, I had this. I had this in my bra too.
With a jar of pills.
Medication.
Yeah.
Prescription drugs. Cool.
I think Jan is looking at Silky Nutmeg Ganache and saying, like, boy, do I wish I had what she has. Because Silky Nutmeg Ganache, honestly, I want to hate her. I know people say that they want to like her. I want to hate her. She has all the makings of somebody who's super annoying, but she just, for some reason in this episode, I was like, damn, like she was funny. She had a lot of funny comebacks. She's got great fashion. I mean, we'll get to other stuff, but I legit love this workroom entrance.
All right.
So.
Very good.
Same.
Next, we have Pandora Box.
Joe, wait. Did you like it? I want to hear your opinion because all you talked about was Lauri's purse.
Yeah.
That's why I'm asking. I got a vibe.
Yeah. I'll say this. I was surprised, but I feel like Silky has dialed it back enough. But I feel this is what I'm thinking here. I really have no predictions. I feel Silky can only hold it for so long. So maybe episode 3, 4, 5, it's gonna go back right to season 11 nonsense.
I'm sure that's true. But honestly, imagine being in that room with Eureka, Silky, Yara Sofia. It must be wild for the quiet girls.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
It's
also imagine the smells.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I always do.
Mm-hmm. That's what they say when they saw the $20 on the sidewalk that fell in Lauri's boob.
That's what they always say that.
They always say it. All right. Pandora Box. She came in and she said, "I have a box for delivery, but I hear you only accept them in the rear." She came in 5th place and she won Miss Congeniality of season 2, and she was in last place on All Stars 1. Let's start with you, Salandra. Pandora Box. Your big thoughts here.
It's funny because the only note I took, which I didn't realize, was Jiggly's quote, "Elsa got old."
Yeah.
So perhaps Pandora was right. It was rough for her to be insulted coming in. But actually I did write one other thing, and it was this. I definitely want to see more older queens on. I think they're great. I want them to be more. I don't want them all to be young. That said, something about Pandora feels very out of place amongst the other queens.
Yeah,
for me.
100%. And I saw the episode twice. And what I've realized is I think it's her makeup skills, believe it or not. Because actually on stage, during her performance and when she was anytime she was on stage, it washed out. I think she's painting for the stage and not for television in a workroom. Because on the stage, she looked like old Pandora, not old, but like the Pandora that we knew. But
I thought the same thing. And when she was giving face on the stage, I was like, oh, okay, she does have it.
Yeah.
But it's not working.
And when she was sitting on the sides, there was one shot that they gave of her where you could see the line between the makeup and her forehead, and it was like the makeup is too white. It's like there's too much that, and like you could see the normal skin color. And I'm like, I think that shows the cracks and the lines more than they usually would. Lauri, did you have any big thoughts on Pandora Box?
I think you guys nailed it on the head. Yeah. I think the exact same thing.
She doesn't
right on the head.
She doesn't remember who it is. All right, next we have Scarlet Envy. She came in and said, "Off to the races."
She was the Mexican one, right?
Nope.
Pandora. Okay.
Oh, Pandora. No. I just think that's funny. I never thought of thinking like, well, that's kind of a Spanish-y sounding name, Pandora.
Also, she's probably the whitest.
Pandora.
Pandora.
What are you trying to say to me, Pandora? Pandora, ¿qué estás haciendo, Pandora? No, Pandora Box was the, okay, you were doing a job. Scarlet Envy came in 10th place season 11. Once again, not a very high place. She said off to the races. Lauri, let's start with you. Scarlet Envy, your thoughts.
You know, I have, you know me, I like to keep my thoughts close to the vest. Mm-hmm. And, I don't like to.
Other things.
Yeah. I don't like to
apparently everything else that would go in a regular
everything you own, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like to be hyperbolic.
Yeah.
And I have shared my thoughts on Scarlet, but I will say I liked it. I liked her entrance. I thought she looked great. And I don't know. I thought she looked great.
All right. Very good. Adam Salandra, you have any thoughts?
She said off to the races, and so the cat went with it. I thought that was cute, but my question to myself is, why am I so attracted to him as a guy? Like, I'm attracted to many people, but for some reason, being attracted to Scarlet feels weird to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. I don't know. Who can analyze me? But anyway, I'm interested.
It's so funny you said that. I'm the opposite, where I'm like, I should be attracted to him, but I'm not. Like, I think we haven't seen enough of him in this season, but I remember on season 11, he was very taken with himself.
Yeah.
And I think that completely turned me off.
I agree.
Yeah. Also, he was like in his 20s, and you know, that's way too old for Joe.
Good point.
Wait, David Archuleta's 30.
David Archuleta's 30?
He looks like he's 14 though.
Oh, okay. If he's 30, then I'm 87.
No, he really is 30. He is really 30 years old.
I mean, he was 14 years ago, so that would track. Actually, that is literally the math, yes.
That is insane.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm living my life right, guys. I think I gotta.
This was the turning point for you? This was
it. This was the moment.
David Archuleta's age reveal changed your entire life.
Yeah. This was the moment. Yeah. This is not when I got trapped in that well. This is it.
Thank God.
Serena Chacha, she came in saying, representing Panama, it's Serena Chacha Olay. What a horrible entrance line. Adam Salandra, she came in 13th place in season 5. Your thoughts on her?
And yet she's here. My main thing was like just truly wondering what the other queens really thought when they saw her. Besides, like, thank God I'm not going first. Mm-hmm. And they must have just been like, wow, really? They were probably happy though. The lesser people you see, mm-hmm. the weaker people, you might say. You're probably thrilled when they walk through the door. But fine. I was surprised to hear she was back, but here she is.
Yeah, Lauri, any big thoughts on Serena Chacha?
I was like a contestant on an old 2000s MTV dating show. Next. Oh, man.
Salandra is very amused by that joke.
Because it was both so silly, but yet also very accurate. And of course, I know Next. I loved it. 10s across the board for that joke.
Thank you very much. I've been watching a lot of happy endings. So.
Is there a place to see Next? Wait, go ahead.
What?
Is there a place to see that show? Because there was a meme about a couple of months ago where they were showing like a gay episode, and it was just so awful. And they were all 90s gay, like early 2000s gays. I'm sorry. And I along with the comment, I want to see the rest of this episode.
I get that.
Yeah.
But also,
you should watch the next where it was like whenever they had lesbians on, because it was always just the lesbian would go, "Yeah, I met somebody on the bus, so I'm going to go back to the bus."
Oh, is that true? That's amazing if that's true.
Kylie Sonique Love, she came in and said, you got female. She was 9th place on season 2. Let's start with you. Lauri, I don't think you have anything to say about Kylie Sonique Love, do you?
Oh my God.
Oh.
She's so hot. She's so fucking hot, guys. She was like, literally, like so freaking hot. I was like, she's really hot. I have nothing else to say except for she's hot.
It's funny because that's my question when she walked in and before she walked in is what's the obsession with her online? Like everyone loves her beyond just the fact that she looks perfect, or is maybe that it? And I will say as the episode went on, I was like, oh, you know what? Sometimes that is enough. And there is just looks wise a thing about her, hopefully personality too. I haven't seen it yet, but the look is something else. It really is. I can't deny it.
She's got that look down. I gotta be honest. I have no opinion about her personality or her talent.
You were listening, yeah.
Or her uniqueness or anything. Mm-hmm. I just was like, I couldn't get my eyes off her. So it's going to take me a couple episodes before I'm going to actually realize that she's a person who can talk. Because she's just really, she's hot.
I think it was interesting that on my friend's podcast, of course I didn't listen, as we all know, but he played a clip that Latrice Royale is voting for or rooting for Sonique. Which I thought was, Latrice was on with Jiggly. Maybe there'd be a connection there. All these other queens that she knows, but there's such a rabid fan base of Kylie Sonique Love. So let's see what she can do.
All right.
They're doing a Brady Bunch thing. I don't know if you guys saw a Brady Bunch parody with Drag Race Gals on Paramount Plus next week. And, Sonique is playing Jan. So to say, they didn't pull any of the actresses from the thing. They picked her. So they obviously like her too.
Yeah.
All right. Trinity K. Bonet, she came in and said, they done fucked up, right? She came in 7th place in season 6. Let's start with you, Salandra. What were your thoughts on on Trinity K. Bonet?
I'm very much looking forward to getting past those giant teeth. And
so were the words in her mouth.
What?
The words in her mouth are trying to get past those giant teeth.
Now that's true. Sorry, I ruined a good joke by not getting it. But that's right. Which I'm interested in because she wore flippers as in drag on season 6.
Yeah.
But famously bad teeth in confessionals. Mm-hmm. And so now it looks like she just is doing flipper the whole time. But I think she just needs her little star to rise so she can get fake teeth like everybody else. Mm-hmm. And I do think her little star is going to rise on this season. Oh, she's been playing a bit of in the confessionals, the everyman, and I think people are going to like her.
What about you, Lauri Roggenkamp?
Just workroom entrance. I was sort of like underwhelmed but hopeful. Mm-hmm. Like she had from the beginning. I thought when she said they fucked up. I thought that was a funny thing to say. So you could tell she has a great sense of humor. But I just was a little underwhelmed by her look. But I mean, who am I to judge looks? So I'm hoping that you're right, Adam, because I would love to see her kind of get her star.
All right. And then finally in the workroom, we have Eureka O'Hara. She came in, she said, Eureka, you found it again and again and again. Well, baby, 3rd time's a charm. Hell. She came in 11th place on season 9. Well, because I wouldn't get 11th place.
Yeah, that doesn't count.
She was sent home because she was injured. But then she came in the final 3 actually on season 10. Now she's back on All Stars. Let's start with you, Lauri. You're often mistaken on the street for your Eureka O'Hara. So, what did this? Sorry, I made myself laugh. Did you have any kind of big thoughts on Eureka?
I thought she came in great. I think also a lot of it had to do with the fact that this was the last queen, and it was kind of like, okay, now let's move on.
Yeah,
but I thought she came in great. She had a great, she kind of took the attention and moved it to her, which I thought was good. And, so, yeah, I thought she looked great.
What about you, Salandra? Do you have any big thoughts?
No big thoughts, but I love the little birdcage hips. I love the oldie style hair, and I do love Eureka. So happy to have her here.
All right, very good. So those are the workroom entrances. Why don't we do this? Why don't we take a break? And when we come back, we will get into the rest of the episode. It's longer than the actual episode. And it took us just as long as the episode just to get to the workroom entrances.
It really did.
But when we come back, we'll get through the rest of the episode. There's actually not much to the rest of the episode except for the variety show, and then we will discuss the rest of the season premiere of All Stars Season 6. All right, we'll see you right after this.
This is Amy Poehler. My new movie, Disney and Pixar's Inside Out 2, is coming to theaters June 14th, and it's making me feel joy and sadness and anger, definitely some disgust, and I think a little fear. But I'm also feeling these new emotions like anxiety, embarrassment, envy, and ennui.
It's what you call the boredom.
Okay, that one was weird. It's going to be the feel everything movie of the summer. Disney and Pixar's Inside Out 2, rated PG, parental guidance suggested. Only in theaters June 14th. Get tickets now.
Yeah! Yeah! All right. After all the girls entered the workroom, RuPaul entered the workroom to welcome not only the new contestants, but special guest via television, the goddess of glitz, glamour, goth, gossip, and gore herself, Miss Piggy Roggenkamp. She came in. After some banter, Miss Piggy and RuPaul launched the girls into the traditional reading challenge. In the end, Ginger Minj walked away with the win. Let's actually go to, yes, the goddess of glitz, glamour, goth, gossip, and gore. But also, Salandra, I think you know this. She's an icon in the LA comedy and improv and stand-up scene.
Of course I know, yes.
Lauri Roggenkamp, a reading challenge, kind of like a roast, essentially. What were your thoughts on the reading challenge?
Hello. Well.
Oh, that's Miss Piggy.
Oh, that's your Miss Piggy?
My attempt at doing Miss Piggy.
Oh, this is so good.
Yeah.
I am actually famously terrible at roasts. I suck at roasting people.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I was more, I think it was Jiggly, where it just comes off as like hurtful statements. Mm-hmm. like I feel like that's how my roasting comes off as. But overall, I kind of felt like it was a little lackluster.
Mm-hmm.
But I did enjoy some of the barbs that were sent to some of the drag queens. I liked when Ginger Minj said, "Can I just call you to Jiggly? Can I just call you stupid?" I thought that was funny. Yeah. So overall, I mean, I thought it wasn't like the best, but I didn't think it was the worst.
Oh, Salandra?
It was definitely not the best. However, I think my favorite, which was also Ginger, and she did win. So it's rare that matches up. They actually picked the winner. But when she fucking said Silky put her ass on backwards, it killed me. Because let's face it, that's a truth. So that was very funny. I also have that Jan coming for Trinity saying bad teeth, bad personality, bad attitude was what you were just referencing is just more of a mean thing than a joke. And I think Miss Piggy is a queen. I was happy to see her. And I like Ginger calling herself Kermit the Hog.
All right. Very good. Now next, RuPaul announced this week's Maxi Challenge. It's a traditional all-star variety show. In the workroom, Raja O'Hara points out the diversity of the cast this season. Meanwhile, Ginger frets about how she'll vote since she's friends with some of the girls, especially Jiggly Caliente. It's Elimination Day, and the girls get ready for the variety show. Eureka and Kylie Sonique Love talk about their very personal performances. Trinity K. Bonet frets about her stand-up comedy routine. And finally, the girls wrap up the conversation with a discussion about strategy. Couple of things. Let's talk about the cast diversity. That was something that Raja was not wrong about. Something I had not realized, not only in ethnic diversity, but a lot more big girls than we usually see. There are a couple of trans contestants.
I think we just obviously talked about how diverse season 3 is. Mm-hmm. And now I think we've outdone that because of the different types of diversity that are there.
Yeah. Older queens. You have ethnically diverse. It is actually a really good mix. Lauri, did you agree with that? Did you like the diversity there?
Yeah.
Now, Ginger talks about how she's been really good friends with Jiggly for years. Do you think that's really... Well, I was making a joke when I wrote that down about... Remember when she said she was best friends with Katya?
I thought that the whole time.
Yeah.
But I was in, like... Not that I hang out with any of them, but I feel like I've never seen them in the same circles. Like Ginger and Jiggly being connected at all was sort of a surprise to me.
Mm-hmm. Now, another thing that comes up for discussion is Serena Cha-Cha, and they're saying, oh, we all think you deserved a second chance. Let's go round robin around the room. Salandra, Serena Cha-Cha, did she deserve a second chance?
It's not a simple yes or no. Yes, she deserves a second chance because I assumed that she had much more to show. Mm-hmm. However, I don't know why we're quite yet scraping the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah.
But that's fine. She was 13th out. So, wow.
Lauri, what about you? What are your thoughts?
No.
Oh, really?
See, that's what I like, a strong yes or no, and I'm bad at giving them.
The correct answer is she did deserve a second chance. She was very young. She was 21, really obnoxious, and Salandra will agree in a way that you might go like, I want to see what this bitch is doing in 10 years. And I think she'll be good.
That is exactly what I was thinking, but I did not expect you to stand up for her, so I'm happy to
to be fair, I don't know who she is. I never saw her.
But no second chances ever. Despite All Stars being
so Lauri, on season 5, she went home second. And she was really, really taken with herself because she went to art school.
Well, she still is.
Yeah, well, it was worse. And
it was different.
And she makes a good point that it had, season 5 especially, has some of the it has the strongest cast in the history of the show. I mean, those queens, almost every single one of them is iconic. And she's coming for them like they're all rank amateurs. And
that was it. It wasn't even her being so bad as a queen. It was all about the Untucked. It is some of my favorite queens of all time.
Yeah.
And they all couldn't stand her. So that's why it's like, okay, she was young at 21. I cannot imagine being on a reality show at that age. So yes, and I think she did at least show she matured. Yeah. Even though it was a quick run.
Yeah. Now on the Elimination Day conversation, Trinity talks about her stand-up comedy routine. Now we know what happened, Lauri, but you are an expert in stand-up comedy. Before we do a whole discussion of it, did you think she had like a right to be? Do you think there's a curse on stand-up comedy on All Stars?
Well, I will say when she said everybody who's done stand-up has been in the bottom or gone home, but I'm going to do it. I thought, well, I don't know if that's the way to go. I think if everybody who's done something has not been successful, I mean, you really got to be, competent and really have tested out your material. Yeah. And, I think that, and also, this is All Stars. So these queens know what RuPaul likes. And I just have never known RuPaul to be a stand-up comedy fan. So, I just think that, something else would have been better. Really kind of any kind of like vaudevillian.
I don't know if RuPaul pretends to like stand-up comedy, but it does seem on the show that she does like it. But we'll talk about Trinity's performance in a second. In fact, let's actually talk about the variety show performances now.
Well,
go ahead. Yeah.
One of the things I thought was so funny was right after the reading, it seemed like all the queens tried to like fall over themselves. It was like you and me after we have a fight. We like are falling over ourselves trying to compliment each other. And
I can't wait to see that.
And I think that like it just thought it was so weird that like they did this big reading, and then afterwards they were like, I'm so excited. I love everybody here. I'm just so excited you're getting your chance. This is so great. And oh, sorry.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I interrupted you.
The only reason I say this is I'm giving Trinity credit because everybody else was like, we're all, this is going to be great. And we're all here to be friends and blah, blah. And Trinity was like, I don't have any of these women in my phone. I don't talk to them. I don't, so this is going to be a real difficult process. And I thought that, that I gave her credit for that because I felt like the other queens are trying to make it seem like they were all buddy.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was going to say is I think they're doing that on purpose because strategery, like they are voting each other off. So the more they compliment and lift each other up, the safer they feel.
All right, very good. Let's get into the main stage maxi challenge, the all-star star-studded variety extravaganza. The first one was Jan, who came in and did an original song, but I will give Jan this. It was to a backing track and she sang live.
That's the one thing I have to, for all the original songs, that was the only one who sang live, which I'll give her that as well.
Yeah. Really quick, just, not a whole dissertation here, but Salandra, your thoughts on Jan's original song? Like it, not like it?
Oh, I definitely didn't like it. And not even a meme, like I wouldn't download it is what I mean to say.
Yeah.
And I do download some bad drag queen songs, but it wasn't necessary for me, but I love that, she really showed off the voice. And also her placement was lucky because this was the first of about 10 original songs. And so I didn't know how annoyed I was yet.
All right, Lauri, next.
Same. She's got an amazing voice, but it's just like white noise. There's just something that's not clicking for me with Jan. I honestly, I felt like it was one of those things where when you, as a stand-up comic, if you see another stand-up comic before you do like fat stuff and you have a bunch of fat jokes in your repertoire, you go, oh, I guess I can't do fat jokes unless you're Joe and you don't have enough jokes to really kind of work through it. So you sort of are stuck with fat jokes.
Uh-huh.
But
it's all I got. All I can do is fat jokes. The other day I saw 300 Salandra on the scale. Anyway, hi, Lauri.
A very timely joke, too.
Yeah, it's only a 12-year-old joke.
So, I just felt like all of the rest of the queens should have been like, all right, I guess I got to do something else. Or like there should have been some communication because I felt like it got so boring after that. But kudos to her for singing, but it still was just boring.
It reminded me of the Madonna challenge where everybody wore a kimono.
Yeah.
Where everybody, props to Jan for singing live, but motherfucker, everybody was just doing an original. They were just doing.
And they obviously can't change it last minute, so I don't blame them for that, but I would have loved production to step in and say, would you consider doing anything else?
Yeah, it's called a variety show.
Well, we'll get to that, but I've heard that production did step in for somebody and tell them to change.
But that was probably like we'll get to it.
Yeah. All right. Pandora Box was next. She lip synced to an original song where, again, people look at RuPaul like she's the arbiter of taste, and she's laughing hysterically because, first of all, Pandora was doing that drag queen staple where she does the lip sync to like a skip in the record, like it's scratched record kind of thing where it's dick, 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 and you're like, okay, she's saying dick over and over again, but RuPaul's dying of laughter, know, at that. But again, lip syncing to an original song and then squeeze shit out of her boobs. Lauri,
no, I don't hate that.
You don't hate that. Oh, so you like that, Salandra? Yeah. What were your thoughts, Salandra, on this Pandora Box number?
I liked the tit squeeze out. It's actually, my main thought was what we already discussed, was that suddenly on stage I was like, oh, she is giving good face on stage and I see the appeal now. Her makeup feels better. Mm-hmm. And she's just a very campy, old fashioned queen, which I mean that as a compliment.
Yeah. Lauri?
It was kind of funny. I didn't really find it that hilarious. And I got to be honest, setting it up for the judges table, I didn't really see the judges enjoying it all that much. To be honest, I thought they were laughing a little bit, but it didn't seem like people were, it was like the big deal. Mm-hmm. So I kind of was like, oh, this isn't really good for her.
All right. Next we had Jiggly Caliente. She came in and she lip synced to an original song. Let's start with you, Lauri. Any big thoughts on?
She did not lip sync. She messed up so many times.
Okay.
Oh, did she? I didn't know that.
She couldn't lip sync to her own goddamn song.
I'm a Jiggly apologist, so I can't.
It was infuriating. She couldn't lip sync to her own song. She's like, at one point, she's just dancing and you can tell she's like, well, I'm just going to dance. I'm not going to lip sync anymore.
Salandra?
I was very impressed that she's 40 years old, just the way she was bumping and moving. Mm-hmm. And for me, of course, again, I'm obsessed with her, but I did feel star power exuding from her, in my opinion.
I want the record to show that technically Ginger Minj is 5 years younger than Jiggly.
Right, and Ginger's not moving around like that.
Yeah. On paper,
or at all.
On paper, Ginger Minj who looks
I see
like
what you're saying. Yeah, just the bare bones fact.
AARP legitimately delivered to her mailbox. That she's going to buy one of those standing bathtubs.
Well, hey.
Is okay. Next, we have Kylie Sonique Love, who lip synced to an original song. Salandra, your thoughts?
I thought she looked great. It sounded great, and it was very whatever. As from this point on, all the self songs were to me. They all running together, but she looked great.
Okay, Lauri, your thoughts on Kylie Sonique Love?
To be honest with you, when you told me she sang, I was like, oh, I totally forgot that she sang. I honestly thought that she just walked around the stage. Because, again, she's very hot.
Wait, did she sing live?
She tried to pretend like she was singing live, but she wasn't singing live, no. Okay, next we have Raja O'Hara. She did a 1-minute dressmaking challenge. Your thoughts, Lauri Roggenkamp?
I loved it. I thought it was great.
Oops. Uh-huh.
I thought it was great. I thought it was funny. I mean, the only thing, if I was being super critical, I would have loved if she had done something like else. But to be honest with you,
I loved it. I just wish she did something else.
Yeah. What else could she have done? I mean, honestly, I feel like maybe in her original thing, she like sings a song, but she probably was like, oh, everybody's singing a song. So I'm just going to.
Oh, you mean like in addition to, not.
Yeah.
That's something different. I thought you meant.
Yeah. So but I mean, I thought it was amazing. I loved the transformation. I loved it. I thought she should have won.
All right. Adam Salandra.
Up until now. This is, just FYI. She's my number one up until now.
All right. Well, I thought that I'm so excited that someone was thinking out of the box and it wasn't an original song, step one. And I found myself actually getting genuinely nervous about that the 60 seconds was up. Like, dude, I didn't know if she was going to make it or not. So she actually had me on the edge of my seat, which I found funny after it was all done.
Everyone was watching and everyone was nervous. And like, it was a great job because she got everybody to focus on her.
Yeah,
what?
She was. I was just forgot if she was in top 3.
Yeah, she was in top 3. I'm going to say this. I liked, again, it was so wonderful that it was something different and it wasn't an original song. I'm going to call bullshit. But look, all's fair in love and war and show business.
That's right.
I don't think she really sewed that dress. I think that dress just was behind the thing. And
even if it's a...
a magic trick. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Props to her mama. Yeah. Props to you, Raja.
She did what I couldn't do, which is figure out how to use a sewing machine in less than a minute.
Yeah.
So, good for her.
Yeah.
Next, we had Akaria Davenport. She lip synced to an original song. Your thoughts, Lauri Roggenkamp?
Honestly, I don't remember this. I think it just became so many singing, so many songs that it all blurs together for me. So I don't remember this at all.
Salandra?
Absolute same. Boring. I literally wrote, okay, another ... self-written song. She looks good, cool moves, but it was
Trinity K. Bonet did stand-up comedy. I think we're going to be here for a little bit. Let's start with you, Salandra. Your thoughts?
Well, first of all, unless this was editing, as we saw it, she didn't know her opening line.
Yeah.
That's rough. Yeah. I get getting nervous, fumbling, forgetting something, but opening line, I would like to say no more. Well, no, I wrote maybe no more comedy, but I love comedy. Maybe no more comedy from non-comedy queens. Do you know that the 3 people that were in the bottom, the first episode that she referenced, these were none of them comedy queens. Jasmine Masters probably thinks she's a comedy queen because she just says things and people laugh, but she's not a comedian. And that's a fact.
Yeah. Lauri, you're a comedian. What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, I think Ross hit it on the head, which is that like, if you're nervous, you don't show it. If you mess up, you don't show it. She should have moved on to a different joke, but she just kept doing it and saying, and I think Adam hit it on the head where I think she thought she's so funny as a person that she can just come out there and be funny. And that's not what stand-up comedy is. Stand-up comedy is not just being like, hey, how are you? What's going on with you?
Right. And the reason she didn't know to go to another joke is because she's just not a stand-up comedian.
Yeah.
No. Again, I need to give her praise for not pulling out an original song It just happens to be my least favorite thing to watch is cringy stand up. I can't handle it.
Yeah.
Honestly, to me, if I was her, I would have just pulled out my teeth.
Now that I would have honestly loved, just because I want that to happen.
Strangely, Lauri and I know someone where that was their defining bit, was pulling out their teeth. Yeah.
Oh,
I
so
would have
that's-
pulled out my teeth, and I would have done a little hand puppet thing where my teeth were a hand puppet and I was the ventriloquist, and then I would have done, that's what I would have done. I would have just done that.
God.
And then,
that would have been
boom.
iconic if she did that. Yes. Okay. Look, here's the thing. First of all, Lauri says she's a funny person. No, she's not.
Yeah,
What?
I'm talking about Jasmine.
Yeah. Oh, no, Lauri, Lauri was
No,
talking
no,
about-
Well, she said funny things on the show so far, so I'm just taking her for being. Look, you can be a funny person and not be a good stand-up.
Yeah.
I mean, Joe, you're case in point. So
That I actually agree with. But Lauri, but what I'm saying is on Trinity's original season, she was actually sort of like a gloomy Gus. And that's why the stand-up was actually really important for her, because it was like a turning point. Granted, she went home the next episode, but it was a turning point for her nonetheless. And what she did was she did the mistake that I've seen a lot of actors do. And so actors go try to do stand-up and they try and do it like they're acting. And so they memorize a monologue that they wrote. And she essentially went up there to do a memorized I mean, there was even lighting cues. Like, it was very, very strange. And that just never works.
that's not stand-up.
That's like a one-person show, which is, no one likes those anyway. So, and all
that's
it
worse
was,
than doing a original number.
yeah. And she essentially doing it, and then all she was doing was referencing the old bit that she did before, and talking about, like, I didn't even understand what she was talking about. That now her grandma uses up her lights. I don't know. It was very, very, very strange.
I kind of look. I could be wrong, but I kind of got the gist of it. I just think that she messed up the beginning where she was going to explain it. And I think she should have explained it or done, but I think she thought people would understand and this is how I viewed it. So I don't know if this is really what it is, but I think what the joke was is that her grandma had always been super frugal with her when she would come over for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So now that her grandma's coming over to her house for Thanksgiving, she's turning it on her and doing the same things to her.
Right, but that's not really a joke, is it?
No, but it's one of those things where, I mean, it's like, there are comedians who have those bits where they're not jokes, they're more act outs, but she didn't do an act out. She did a talk through.
Yeah.
Which is just
And
talking
even
through
that
an
was
act out.
barely.
Yeah. So, it's just, it's one of those things where like, there's an Italian comedian right now who's really popular who he's really good at act outs. And if you looked at his joke, they're act outs. But if you watch him, it's very funny. And I think that if she did a full act out of what that would be, it could have been humorous. It could have been very funny. And she just didn't do that. She was just talking out the joke.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move back to the show. Next is Eureka O'Hara. She did. Now, this is an interesting one. She did an original song, but I feel it was a little different from the other ones. It was about her dead mom, and all tea, no shade. Again, speaking of Ginger Minge, when I went to the season 10 finale, I saw Ginger's mom. Not Ginger, I'm sorry, Eureka's mom.
Oh, Eureka.
And I saw her,
bless her heart.
and I saw her standing outside. She was towards the end of her life. When they put that she was born in 1959, I was like, what? Like, when I saw her, I thought she was born like in 1929. Like, she looked very, very, very old. But apart from that, Salandra, she was sick. I'll give her that. Salandra, what did you think of Eureka's number?
I agree. This was it was, even though it was an original song, it was completely different because it was a different vibe of song. She had a cool dress effect that also just made it different. So absolutely points to doing what everyone else did, but in a different way at least.
Yeah. Lauri, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, I agree to a point, although I did find it a little confusing because I was like, is it her face on the dress? And then we're not seeing her face. And are we seeing the face that she's singing with now? Or is this a different
No, it was
face
her mom. Oh, never mind.
No, there was a part.
That was the end.
Yeah, the part
you're
where
right,
lipstick
you're
on her face.
And then it was like, and then she put a different face on, but I couldn't really tell what it was. And then she put the dates of like when her mom was born and then when, and so I was like, oh, that must be her mom. And look, it was a sweet tribute and I'm glad she got to do that. And it seemed like her mom was super supportive of her, but it just was I felt like the follow through was very, the execution was very confusing.
By the way, Lauri's already told me that when her aunt passes away, she's going to do the same thing, but in honor of her aunt, bottomless.
Oh my God.
Which, by the way, that's where the screen shows, so that'll be interesting.
And it'll be really weird because it's just going to be her bottom half put on my bottom half. So
I want to see it.
It's going to be her pantsless when I'm pantsless, and so it's going to get very confusing very quickly.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Next, Scarlet Envy did a bubble-blowing burlesque number. Your thoughts, Lauri, on this?
I gotta be honest, I liked it. I thought it was cute. I thought it was different. I honestly am not 100% sure if it was something I liked because I thought it was good or if it was because it was so different from the original songs that we kept seeing. Mm-hmm. But I enjoyed it. I thought that I didn't like Josh's more, but I thought that she definitely was a contender to win.
All right. What about you, Salandra?
Same. I, again, loved it. It was something different. But for some reason, I truly convinced myself beforehand that she was the first to go home. And as soon as I saw this, I knew that was not the case. It was different. Mm-hmm. It was fun. Props to you, Scarlett.
Yeah. The fact that it wasn't an original song, I was like, yes, this is amazing. I love it. You know? Great. Big thumbs up. All right. Next was Silky Nutmeg Ganache playing the piano and singing This Little Light of Mine. Start with you, Salandra.
When she said she was taking us to church and was at that piano, I got so excited, and we never actually went to church. It was such a letdown. And I do think Silky could take us to church. I'm not sure what happened.
Well, she took us to church because it was boring.
Good point. Yeah, she took us to white church.
Yeah. I mean, she took us to church, which is boring. Church is boring.
Church. So
I heard that she was going to do the fiery batons, but then she was told.
Which is, by the way, what Aiden calls me after I've had a few chalupas.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yum! I want a chalupa now that you mention it. Yeah. I'll say it.
Yeah, that's what he calls his penis after he pulls out after you've had a few chalupas.
That's the thing I didn't understand. It was like, if you were the baton, it was the penis, but how would eating chalupas affect that? But that's a story for another time, I think. Your anatomy.
Well, no, I was in it because it sounds like my last name. Sorry, go ahead.
But they told her that she had to do something else. So I don't know why, but that's just what I heard. Is that she is sort of like a last minute thing.
So you don't know why? No. You don't get a piano last minute.
That's what I was going to say. I don't know who had a grand piano just waiting in the wings.
Yeah.
Also, did it seem, I mean, look, I don't know if I'm just shitting on her to shit on her, but it just seemed to me like she learned that song like a month ago and it was just like, all right, now just don't forget it seemed to me like she was.
That's my issue with it is like, even let's say, give her the benefit of the doubt and say that she was asked to change it last minute. But you still could bring the energy to it that it needed. And that just wasn't there. In fact, you could fake it with the energy, even if you didn't even know the song that well. Mm-hmm. She didn't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It definitely felt very lackluster, I will say.
Yeah. All right. Next we have Serena Cha-Cha. She came out and did original song, but it included wigs. Your thoughts, Lauri Roggenkamp?
I thought that this was going to be a bit, and then I realized quickly that this wasn't a bit. But if she meant this as a bit, it's the funniest thing ever because she literally just brought out her wigs. Mm-hmm. And then sang about her wigs.
Yeah.
So she just brought out her wigs to show and then sang about wigs. Like that to me, I was like, oh, that's
the comedy challenge.
Yeah, that's meta. I think that's great. But I realized quickly that she was doing it for legitimate reasons. So
I 100% agree. When I saw those wigs on the table, I was like, oh, good, another like sort of different thing. She's going to style wigs or something. Mm-hmm. And then I was wrong. I was so convinced she would not be the first to go because it was just too obvious.
Yeah.
I thought that they brought her because there was going to be storyline, drama, whatever it was. And when I saw this, I was like, oh, damn. Okay, well, once again, I'm wrong.
All right, very good. Next, did you give your thoughts on Serena, Adam?
Yeah.
All right. Next.
I haven't given my thoughts yet.
Didn't you just give them for like 20 minutes? Oh, Ginger Minge did an original song about candy. Let's start with you, Lauri Roggenkamp.
So boring. I was so disappointed. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was boring.
Salandra?
And it's about candy.
Yeah.
It's true.
People didn't realize that
gummy bears of all.
It was John Candy. People thought
I love that.
Even better.
Yeah,
exactly. All the better.
Yeah.
If it was John Candy eating candy, it should have been the best thing ever.
Yeah.
But it was, and also it seemed very like, I hate to say this, but it just seemed very like, 35-year-old trying to act 15. Like it seemed like she was like, hey guys, I'm a cool hot twink. It's like, no, sweetie, you're an old lady now.
Yeah.
It was one of the first self songs that I could actually understand the words to, which I appreciated. However, that was about all I had to say. Again, she was pretty much the last one. So by this point, we were over that. I think the funniest part that really just killed me was the cut to Ru singing along to this song as if she had ever heard it before, as if she loved it. I was like, what's happening here?
Oh, Ru's a big fan.
Yeah.
And then finally we have Yara Sofia, who did an original song where she was jiggling some fake titties. Lauri, I know you're chomping at the bit to talk about this. What do you got for us?
Oh, I gotta be honest. I know that it's an original song, but it was so fucking funny. And it was such a unique thing. And I have never seen sloppy tits on a drag queen before. And I was like, yes, I am here for that. I love that. And so I thought she did a great job. I feel like the top three were Yara Sofia, Scarlett, and Raja. And I would have been happy if any of those had won, but I felt like Yara just brought the energy. So
what about you, Adam Salandra?
I agree. I love her. Her humor is actually psychotic, and I love it. Mm-hmm. Yes. And those jiggly tits, they got me. They worked like a charm. And then she said, "Oh, my back" at one point, and it just, I loved it. And my issue with all of these is I won't remember any of these in probably a month. Like, ask me at the end of the season. But if there's a chance that I'll remember one, it is, of course, those crazy titties.
I want to see, is this the song that Ginger sang right here? Hold on. Is this it right here? Oh, it is. It's from her newest album.
Yeah, but that's the other thing. I saw on Twitter today, released it just today. So again, what's Ru singing?
Yeah.
Wild.
Okay.
I also thought it was funny that Yara Sofia said a line. I guess maybe this is skipping ahead, but Yara Sofia said a line like at the end, like, next time give your drag queens more than $1 or something. I don't forget what she said.
Ru loved it.
And Ru loved it, but couldn't remember what the actual thing was. Like, Yara Sofia had
but she said, I laughed at Ru said when she was like, what did you say? And she said, give the queen a fucking $1. Ru said, poetry to my ears.
Yes.
It really is.
That's funny.
All right, on the main stage, RuPaul explained the rules of the competition, which, do we need to read the rules of the competition?
Well, no, they're the same as before. I thought there was something different going to be happening, but they're just like last year.
Well, that's next episode, right? There's something happening next episode.
No.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert, no spoilers.
Yeah.
So, after the rules were explained, the judges gave their critiques. Yara Sofia was named the winner of the challenge, while Trinity K. Bonet and Serena Chacha were in the bottom two. Back in the workroom, the girls discussed the critiques backstage. Yara listens as the two bottom queens plead their cases, while the rest of the cast does the same as well. I do love, though, really quickly, that the girls are shaking. They're so nervous, and Yara's like, this is the most difficult thing ever. I'm like, really, bitch? Be on the other side.
Yeah, she was going through it.
Yeah.
I don't even think she cared.
Yeah, she really did.
Truly.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
I love that. Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No,
say it, and then I'll say it.
Back on the main stage, RuPaul summons the lip-sync assassin at season 5 and All-Stars icon Coco Montrese. She's here to lip-sync against Yara Sofia. The song Uptown Funk by Bruno Mars, which is a bizarre choice.
Sure
After all was said and... I thought Jiggly was the only little Filipino on the show. After all was said and done, Coco Montrese was named the winner of the lip-sync, leaving her with the responsibility to name the queen chosen by the remaining contestants to go home. Coco dramatically pulled the lip-sync out and revealed the name was... Serena Chacha. An hour later, as Serena Chacha packed up her belongings, RuPaul appeared on the television screen and informed her that the game was not over yet. There was still the game within the game. And she is not holding shit back. At all.
At all.
Ladies, any final thoughts on the episode? Lauri, let's start with you.
The only thing I thought was kind of funny was that anytime during the runway or the talent show, they cut to Michelle Visage. Michelle Visage looked like an old woman who had been rolled in on a wheelchair into RuPaul's Drag Race, and she was like, I don't know what's happening, but it's colorful. Like, she just looked so confused the entire time. And it was legitimately the first time I've ever laughed at something that Michelle Visage said. Her looks were just so confused.
Well, it looks like now, are you looking like she's doing some sort of like Yvonne DiCarlo as Lily Munster tribute or something? It's so bizarre. But anyway, Salandra, what are your final thoughts?
Just a few quickies. One, I was so worried and upset all day about these spoilers I thought I was going to get. Mm-hmm. And then when I saw it was Trinity and Serena on the bottom, I was like, oh, I guess I didn't need to be that worried. I thought Serena being chopped first felt way too obvious, but I guess they weren't concerned about that. And I actually started thinking maybe this was the equivalent of them having no one go home. That they do on other seasons just to prolong it. They're like, she's not going to win, so we'll send her. So I was fine with that. I was interested in, even though nothing actually came of this, in a way, there was always the season 5 Coco Montrese versus Serena Chacha. So it was interesting that Coco technically sent her home, even though they didn't speak about that. And the only other thing is, in the deliberations, Serena breaking out Spanish, talking to Yara was very smart. It didn't work. It didn't help. Yeah. Oh, no, it did help. It did help. Oh, do we know that?
Oh, yet? That's right. That's right. Because spoiler alert, Larry. Spoiler alert, Larry. We find out in the next episode who Yara voted for, and it was
Trinity.
Yeah.
Well, but she said it was Trinity.
It was Trinity,
yeah. But she said she was going to do that in the show because she said that she picked Trinity because she said she was going for who she thought would be bigger competition.
That's true.
And she said that she thought Trinity was the biggest competition. So, I mean, it's kind of funny because it's like she didn't pick Serena because she was like, oh, I think I could totally beat you.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that's how you should technically do it if you want to win.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Well, did you get all your final thoughts on Adam Salandra?
Yes. Thank you for asking.
Lauri Roggenkamp, all your final thoughts out.
Let me look at my notes.
Well, Salandra, what were your thoughts on the lip sync? Did you like the lip sync? Did you enjoy the lip sync?
No, to be honest with you, I know you mentioned that with Coco. I like Coco's lip syncing. I didn't think it was bad, but it didn't excite me. It didn't excite me.
Well, it's just I thought Yara was doing something super weird. And
that goes without saying. You know what? I think I was distracted by why are we lip syncing to a male voice?
Yes.
Like, I just didn't understand the song.
Yes, I agree. The song choice was very, very, very bizarre. I did not like the song choice. Now, let me ask you this, Adam, while she's still looking. You're Yara Sofia. You have to choose who goes home. Are you choosing Serena or are you choosing Trinity to go home?
I thought about this a lot. And I'm of two camps. One is because you don't want to piss anybody else off. I think about it purely by strategic thoughts. If you don't want to piss anyone off, you sort of have to go by what you would think everyone else thinks is the right to do, which would be get rid of Serena. But it would also make much sense to be like, this girl's my competition. Let me get rid of. But neither one of them are that much competition for Yara. So I think she was kind of safe either way. And so I would have voted Serena.
All right. Lauri, would you have voted?
I probably would have voted for Serena because, I would have voted for Serena because I think that Trinity even though she maybe could go longer than Serena, I think that she might be somebody who with the end, because I feel like, she might be a good person to vote. I think Serena might find sympathy at the end. So.
Yeah. All right. Very good. Well, that's going to do it for this week's episode of RuPaul's Drag Race Recap. Be sure to join us next week and every week as we continue to discuss, dissect, and deconstruct each brand new episode of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 6. RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars Season 6. So for Adam Salandra, Lauri, Roggenkamp, and myself, why don't you give us the honors there, Salandra?
Sashay away.
Now, look, I forgot to record an outro for today. So
I thought you were saying you forgot to record altogether.
Yeah, no.
Boy, just another 2 hours.
No. I forgot to record an outro. So why don't we do this? Why don't I read a
live
outro? Why don't I read a typical outro? And then we'll have you guys plug your own things. Thank you for listening to RuPaul's Drag Race Recap. Have something to say? Email us at dragracerecap@afterthought.media. You can also leave a voicemail at speakpipe.com/afterthoughtmedia. For more Drag Race and LGBTQ content, support us on Patreon at patreon.com/afterthoughtmedia. You can follow Adam Salandra on Instagram at Adam Salandra. Follow Lauri Roggenkamp on Instagram at Lauri You Liar. That's LauriuLiar. Lauri, where can people find your bloody podcast?
You can find us where any podcasts are listened to, and you can also go to bloodypodcast.com, and we have our Patreon, Patreon/bloodypodcast, Instagram at bloodypodcast. So yeah, send us a message.
A lot of options.
Yeah, lots of options.
Yeah.
You can follow me, Joe Betance, on Instagram at Joe Betance. By the way, Salandra, is there anything else you plug besides your Instagram and your boyfriend?
People's butts, yeah.
Whoa, you got it right for Trinity K. Bonet. All right. All right, Drag Race Recap is an Afterthought Media podcast.